Hello?
Oh man.
Shit. What happened?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, there we go. Sometimes it just looks weird, and
I don't know what's going on with my microphone. It's suddenly way fucking quieter than it was before. Weird. I have not done any work on the notes. Including the... I haven't done any scoring shit.
oh yeah, there was a mistake on the scoring.
No, there's been no... I haven't done anything to the scoring.
Oh,
So
you
that's
didn't.
the
You
scoring.
okay?
That's the scoring from last week.
Oh, all right. It's so my score is largely the same, and so oh no, it's not. Never mind. Yeah, because Bruce didn't get the episode title, but Immunity Challenge win, yes. Survive Tribal Council, yes. D Tribal Council, yes. Jake got one vote, so I thought maybe you gave me an extra two for some reason. Like maybe you assumed that the other people, the people who didn't vote, maybe you assumed they voted for him and they survived. So I just saw that and I was like, oh, okay.
Let's see. Drew said the title. That's the one extra point. Kendra eliminated. Drew +1 episode. Title. Got Katura. Thank God for when I was watching this, I thought I had Kendra. I'm very happy to have remembered incorrectly.
I forget if it was this season. Oh yeah, no, it was this season, but it was. But I got voted out, and I was all mad. And then I realized, oh wait, no, I didn't have them. I had someone else.
Yeah, it was only the one extra for Jake, so Jake did get one. Yeah, otherwise it was very similar.
Oh, good. Brian
Else?
is here. In that case, I'm gonna go a glass and a beer, and I will be right back.
Ooh. Brian.
In that case, I'm gonna pee and get in a White Russian.
Okay.
It's okay. You can. I have a wireless headset though.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I haven't done any of the scoring or anything, so I'm just going through double checking stuff.
Yep, kids. To be clear, when I say that, I don't mean your kids. I mean I'm calling you a kid. I'm saying damn kids.
That's fine. You wouldn't be too far off. No, not 68, 58.
I meant to have opened it near the microphone so you could get the sound of the podcast fluid as it's being poured, but I forgot.
That's all right.
Yeah.
3.
That's not. I'm gonna cry now.
3, 4, 5,
I meant
6.
to, or I didn't mean to. I figured I'm gonna do a dry December just because I haven't done it before, and why not? I don't gotta prove anything to anyone, so I gotta drink what I have before Friday. I think that's. Or is it Friday or is it Saturday? This is the first of the month.
Hold on, let me.
I don't know numbers.
Yeah, numbers are hard.
There we go. There's my wine.
Friday, yeah. So I gotta drink it before Friday. So yeah.
I have a 2011 Washington State Syrah.
And I got this stuff. Oh, nice. I am having a Boddington's Pub Ale.
Ooh, there you go. See, this is one
Sure.
I got years ago when I thought I was being wine snobby with a bunch of stuff. And just held on to it because it was very tannic. And, you know, tannins, you want very tannic when you first open it, and then you age it, and the tannins mellow and become just pure flavor, right? And it doesn't have as much bite to it. So this was very tannic. The problem is, it's also, you know, it's a bad sign when it just says what state it's from, not what region at all. Like, it's just from somewhere in the state of Washington.
I thought tannic was when it lasted more than an hour. Heyo.
There you go.
No, I realized there's a English pub downtown called Trials that I like,
Oh, yeah.
and they serve room temperature, which is the British way. But I actually really like that. So I went to Bevmo, and then I got this, and I drank one at room temperature out of the can. Did not like it, and in fact, actually, that was what made me realize, oh, maybe I should just do a dry December just so that I got 31 days of palate cleansing after this. But actually, I chilled them, and then also I've been pouring them into a glass now, and it's pretty good. It's still not my favorite. I would, you know, if somebody put this on a table, I would drink it.
Hey, man, you're cutting out a lot tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom's cutting out.
Yeah, she did. She cut out. She went to bed a little while ago.
Yeah.
I was talking to her. I
Are your
said
parents
goodnight.
home?
No, but I called her on the phone and said goodnight.
Oh, I thought they were like actually in town or something.
No, I wish.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll go out into the living room and maybe it'll be a little bit better. But I'm so comfortable in bed right now.
Sorry, man.
Give me a minute. And then you guys decide which one of you wants to do the reading, the Torah portion.
Oh, it's got to be Brian.
That's anti-Semitic.
Oh, I thought you meant reading the thing that you did.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Wait, did you put the new one in here? Yeah,
I
you did. You
Oh,
did put the
I
new one in
just-
here. Okay.
I did. Don't worry. I know I sound distant because my tablet is on the couch and I'm moving around.
I would love it if you were just in the episode like, "Hey guys, how does this sound?" I put the iPad on top of the router.
Ugh. No, I'm going to be sitting on the floor relatively near my router. And so I need, with all of my blankets, because that's what I really wanted from the bed, because it's kind of
Mhm.
cold. So I got to be sure, put a coaster down so that my beer doesn't spill. And then I need to go grab my pillow, like my couch pillow, so that I can sit upright. And then it'll be all ready.
All right. I think Brian should read it. Brian does it good.
There we go.
Plus, we don't hear from Brian a lot in most episodes, so
It is a good way of
Nobody
engaging.
does it.
It is a good way of engaging you more, since you actually know, like, seeing it ahead of time instead of just seeing it as like a surprise kind of helps. But anyway,
Yeah. But
all right.
I mean, I watched the episode a day and a half ago, so see if I remember
Yeah.
what happened.
that's
Well,
what this
honestly,
is
so
for.
that's why I started writing that thing, because I would watch it on Thursday, and then we would record on Friday. Whew, I'm out of breath now. Well, in fairness, I was carrying blankets all over the place.
Damn it.
Anyway, I would watch it on Thursday. We would record on Friday, and I would have kind of I would have a vague idea of what happened. So if I just wrote down a little recap of it for myself, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, and then this and the other thing. Because before I started writing this, I was using Andy's notes, and then I would put my own notes in there. But this is much better.
I agree.
Okay, yeah. And hold on a sec. I just need to find the microphone so that I don't accidentally cover it with my Okay, it's up at the top. Cool. That
When's
means
the
I
last
can.
time they can play Shot in the Dark? Do you guys know?
6 or something.
Yeah, there's a couple more episodes where it could be, like 1 or 2, because this was the 9th person. So, well, sorry, you know what I mean. Then the next person will be the 8th. So I think 876.
So in Survivor 41, I don't remember the others, but in Survivor 41, it was day. Yeah, it's the day 21 tribal when there's 7 left.
Yeah. Oh, so then 2 more,
Yeah.
most likely.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, one sip. Yum. All right. Welcome to Outwit, Outplay, Outcast, a Survivor podcast on the Night of the Living Geeks Network. Wow, tongue twister. We're gonna be talking about season 45, episode 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally got it. I've been, you know what it is, because there was that double vote one episode. I've been behind, off by 1 the entire time. Maybe it's Daylight Saving Survivor. Anyway, season 45, episode 9, which was called, don't remind me, it was called Sword of Damocles, which I thought was going to be, thought it was going to be a malapropism, but it wasn't. It was someone actually making a genuine classical reference. All right. Well, with that,
what was that?
I don't know. I expected someone to say something.
I thought you dropped again. I thought it was your bad connection. You just dropped.
No, you guys just left me high and dry. All
right.
Anyway,
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, someone, Brian will once again do the reading.
God.
You know what's a real pain in the ass when you're drinking something and the long piece of ice like turns so that it's like lined up with your mouth and you can't get around it? I really hate that.
All right. I don't put ice in my drinks. That's just me, though.
Well, you have to put You have to put ice in a White Russian. It's the law.
You can't. You will get arrested by the alcohol police.
Yeah, well, I mean, you literally need to, because if you just pour in vodka and Kahlua into milk, it's just going to warm it up, and then it'll be gross. Anyway.
More milk.
No. So, Kendra's being dramatic, again, while everyone else is gloating. Jake has a reality check. Bruce is shaken. Katurah is playing both sides from the middle, immediately warning Reba that D is the target. The season is shaping up to be the least interesting people taking out the most interesting people, one after another. Don't agree. Oh no, sorry. Oh no, it sounds like shaken Bruce is having a coach moment of clarity and retreated to a long, self-reflective monologue that I skipped over. Emily floats D in the "wouldn't it be crazy if" sort of hypothetical asking for a friend way, but Austin and Drew are hearing none of it and did a very, very awful job trying to convince her that they were considering it. The castaways are told to divide into groups of 3, and not a single one seems to have watched Squid Game. What were they even doing in 2021? The 3-part challenge results: Bruce winning immunity and Chicken, along with Kendra and Julie and Austin, Emily. I say this is really weird.
How many White Russians have you had?
With random ands. I'm really confused. Kendra, Julie, Austin, Emily, and Katurah potentially losing their. That's very weird.
Yeah, I should have put a semicolon there. So to be clear, Bruce won immunity and Chicken, along with Kendra and Julie.
He won them? Ooh, that's a different kind of sanctuary.
No, Kendra and Julie won
here's
Chicken.
2 women for you, Bruce.
Gross. I'm trying to say all 3 of them won Chicken, but only he won immunity. And Austin, Emily, and Katurah potentially lost their votes. Sorry, go right ahead.
The highlight of this challenge was Jeff excitedly saying, "Start on the balls," shortly after having first said, "Kendra dropping ropes." Do we still think it's supposed to be a D? Do Survivor porn? Drew says they can't strategize until the other two groups come back, but that's because Drew is dumb. Yeah. Of course you can strategize and game out scenarios before they come back. Jake tries to work with Dee and Drew, but they essentially say, yeah, sure, yeah, cool. That's a cool idea. And then they eat his fucking rice. And they weren't very sly about it. At the sanctuary, Kendra eats chicken for the first time in 15 years, and I guarantee you that's the best meal she ever ate. Austin earns his vote back. The math puzzle is a goddamn nightmare. It for sure came out of the mind of someone's stress dream, and my teeth fell out just thinking about it. And it was blind ass luck. Reba has the numbers, so it's academic that Kendra is going home. At least we get to see some fissures develop, and Emily looks like she wants to make a move, but crucially lacks a vote.
I feel kind of bad for Kendra breaking her 15 years of not eating chicken or not eating meat for this chicken when, like, literally, 6 hours later, she could have a perfectly fine vegetarian meal.
See, this is what I'm talking about, where I was like, why would you even want to come on the show if you're a vegetarian, or vegan? Why would you even want to be here?
I'm sure she ate fish while they were out there, and that's not. I mean, you could be a pescatarian, but she strikes me as the kind of person who was vegetarian, not vegan. It's hard to be a vegan and bartender because. Wait, no, I mean, they don't care about yeast.
She did specify chicken, and she did say chickens are her favorite animal, and then she fucking ate one. It's like you could wait a little bit. You would have been fine. Yeah. You could eat whatever you wanted at Ponderosa.
Well, I mean, if you put it that,
but you don't know what you don't.
My favorite animal too.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I love like a good chicken after a long day of work or something is so good, and so I could imagine 15 years without chicken, and you have your first one, and man, the herbs and spices on the top of that thing looked so good.
Yeah, it did genuinely look like a decent chicken.
Yeah, it looks like a little bitty thing, but you know what? 3 people, that's a decent amount.
So we did the recap, and a lot of stuff did happen, but I want to ask, what did you guys think of the 3-in-1 format of this, where they split the group up into three separate people doing their separate discussions and then coming back together? Because Jeff said this is an idea that they've had for a while, but could never do because of the 60-minute format. There wouldn't be enough time to tell all the individual stories, but they could do it now because of the 90-minute season. Do you feel like it was fun to watch it all split up like this and then come back together?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't see how they needed, it didn't seem like it took any longer than they could have done before, but whatever, Jeff.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I feel like they probably only needed maybe 15 more minutes, So instead of a 1-hour episode, an hour and 15, but no network's going to give them an hour and 15. So now that they have 2 hours to fill, they use the 15 minutes, and then also they just used, you noticed how long the Tribal Challenge was. They, in a 1-hour episode season, they could have edited that thing down, and maybe they would have done 2 stages or something along those lines. So no, I think this was a good use of their time. It's just that it's okay, yeah, you only need a little bit extra time, and so what do you do with the rest of it? And that's where I think it fell apart a little bit, but that's not their fault.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. Maybe it was the wrong time in the season or the wrong cast to do it with. I don't know, but Sanctuary was not crazy interesting. I think what happened there, Bruce sells Julie on the idea that maybe it could be Jake, and Julie's like, oh, I had no idea that Bruce would turn on blah, 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 right? And Kendra was surprised too. And that's kind of what you got from that. But we already knew that before then, right? Because he had that thing on the beach. The camp of the middle team, great, Drew eat all of Jake's rice, done. There's no strategy, you don't learn how. And then the losers, okay, we get to see them do this little challenge, but there's no extra. I mean, the challenge was interesting to have them regain their vote back. I like the dynamic of it, but you don't learn, and there was no gameplay that happened from them being split apart. So them splitting them up, you're right. This one I think could have been done in a 60-minute, because we didn't get a lot out of these segments,
Yeah.
But I like the idea. Maybe if they'd done it when it was groups of 4 instead of 3 this seaon, it would have been a little more interesting. But this was
Yeah,
this was pretty straightforward.
There was a season a long time ago. It was one of the first seasons where they did the thing where you got the merge, and now you're a tribe of 5, not a tribe, but you know what I mean, a team of 5 and a team of 5, and you go and whatever, that sort of thing. And it resulted in a fan favorite getting voted out, Stephanie. I don't remember what season it was. I just know Stephanie was an Asian woman that was doing real, real good in the game, and then she got voted out. And people thought it was unfair. But she said, no, you know what? It's the game. Her complaint, though, was that basically they had her group just sit in silence for like 3 hours, and then they did the tribal council. And I don't remember enough of the details to explain why that happened. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, we have a great idea. We're going to try it out for the first time. And it, you know, there were some flaws. And I think in this one, like you said, the issue was that the I keep wanting to call it Ponderosa, but that's not what it's called. The Sanctuary. Yeah, I mean, so this is what I was saying earlier, where or in the intro where I was talking about the least interesting people teaming up to take out the more interesting people. It's the Survivor All-Star, the original Survivor All-Star season with Rob and Amber and all of them. The same thing happened there, where the tribe that had the numerical advantage stuck together, and they just force of will stayed together and voted out everybody else one by one. And the drama was, are there fissures? Are they going to crack? And they never did. And even as I wrote that, I wrote, hey, at least we see some fissures developing. Do we really? That's where I was a little concerned. Don't get me wrong. Survivor All-Star was a very good season. And so I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on it. It's just that, I don't know. For me, it's always a little annoying when people are just like, okay, we're going to team up and all work together, and then we're going to vote everyone out one by one, and there's nothing that those other people can really do.
Yeah,
I mean, Bruce could play his idol, but even then...
I mean, right now you've got Drew and Austin who are tight, and Austin seems to be tight with D, and Drew seems to be more or less fine with that. At the very least, Emily, I like the way that Emily will, I want to confront them in the moment and make them have to show whether or not they're considering my idea of voting out D. Like, are they even going to entertain the thought? Because if they don't even entertain the thought, then I know where I stand, right? That's excellent gamesmanship. I love that move from Emily.
Yeah.
And it immediately showed that at the very least, Drew is fine with ditching Emily in favor of D. That seems to be where he was, right? Because he waited for Austin's cue, and Austin's cue was, yeah, you know, maybe we think about that. So that 3 is settled. I think the only chance anybody has is to try and pry Julie away. Because it feels like, you know, they did the thing at Sanctuary where Bruce was like, it could be Jake. And Julie goes back to D, and she's like, could it be Jake? And D's like, no. And it's like every time Julie has an idea of something to do different from what D wants, Julie just rolls along with whatever D wants. At a certain point, if Julie wants to be even considered for the season, she needs to peel away from D and do something on her own. Contrary to, because this is like, what, third or fourth time this season when Julie's like, hey, you know, it might be a good idea if we did somebody else, or I don't really agree with the way that D is doing this, you know? She's had counter opinions before, but then always just ended up voting the way D wanted her to. So Julie's just a pocket vote at this point, and she's going to need to make a move counter to that, and soon? I think this is like her last chance, right? Otherwise, it's going to be 3 versus 3 most of the way, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got 6, 7, 8. Those 3, because it's 4. If Julie doesn't do it now, she's not going to get a chance to flip it. So it's kind of like...
Flip it and reverse it.
Yes. Like, this is Julie's last shot, you know? And it's
yeah.
Like, as soon as Julie's like, I have an idea, D. What about? I'm like, oh, it's not going to be that. I know it's not going to be Jake today. It's going to be whatever D wants.
Yeah. Like, D is... She's playing a very good game, but she's also playing a very dangerous game. Because she is clearly running the show, and so that should theoretically put a target on her. But Drew isn't as good at the game as he thinks he is, or at least he's being portrayed that way. Maybe he actually is very good and he's getting weird at it. And then Austin is kind of gullible. And honestly, like I think this is a weird thing to say. I think he wants to win, but I don't think he cares if he loses, if that makes sense. Or it's that thing in sports where there's a difference between players who love to win and players who hate to lose. You know what I mean? Like I think that he's one of those people who likes to win. But like D is driven, and Austin is like, if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. Because the way that he was talking to the in the confessional, saying, "Oh, I know I got to get D out, but I just can't right now. I just like her too much." It's like, no, if you like her, then you vote her out and you be friends after the game. You know what I mean? You don't keep her in the game. You get rid of her because I don't want to sound okay. It's just a game. In real life, friendship is magic. Friendship is great. But in the game, if somebody is playing really well and you have a chance to take them out, you do it.
Yeah, and
right? Like in a game, if somebody has a large ship that can easily kill anybody else's ship, and you have a chance to take them out after you make an alliance with them, you do it, right, Andy?
God damn it! You're referencing a tabletop game we played like 10 years ago, Brian.
You son of a bitch.
Twilight Imperium?
Pirates. The one where we get like all the ships come on a little card. You punch it out with like a little cardboard card.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
No, it's Pirates Cove. That's what it's called.
Yeah. But I like that moment when Austin was talking about how he likes D and doesn't want to vote her out yet. And it cuts to D with her big smile and her big eyes looking at him. It's like, I know why you don't want to cut D. But like, man, you got it.
Big smile, big eyes, and big.
Yeah, you got it, and big toes. You got to cut that. You got to cut that and run. Like you got to find that point of when I need to do. Maybe he thinks it's not now, but my man is sitting on 2 idols. Like, you have the ammunition to protect yourself, vote after vote if you need to, and you're a contender for a lot of different kinds of challenges. I didn't even know the math stuff was in him, but apparently he got that one pretty good. So like, I feel like
he may
Brian
a parvati, or she played the 2 idols and saved herself the other 2 people.
Huh?
Nick, buddy, you're cutting out too much.
Damn it.
He cut out right at the wrong point. We were like, get it into 2 idols. All right.
Okay, so what I was saying was maybe Austin thinks he's going to do a parvati where she had immunity and then she played her 2 idols to protect both her people, and then that got somebody out. Yeah, that may be his play. And if it is, congratulations on winning yourself $1 million. That's the kind of move that really impresses a lot of people. And he hasn't made any enemies, or if he has, like, they don't hate him. They respect him, hate him.
The problem is, I think if he does that, Drew's gonna vote him out. Like, that's a move you can pull if you know you have your lines in your pocket for sure, right? And I think Drew is hanging on with Austin because they've been together so long, and Austin's got his ammunition. But I think Drew is perfectly willing to vote out Austin when he feels like the time is going to be right.
Yeah. As for the math, I remember what Brian said just now about it being pure luck. I will say, okay, I've done it. I couldn't have done it because I'm not patient enough, and if I have a limit, I will fail. But I know how you solve this sort of thing because there used to be a video game. Well, there still is a video game. It's just that it's on the PlayStation 1, so good luck ever playing it again, called Incredible Crisis. And there's an area in the game that is this puzzle. Because what it is, so the secret is, since you only have one subtraction sign to use, and you have to do all the numbers in order, it obviously has to be 98 minus 73. Ninety-eight minus 76. Because if you do anything else, there's no way you're going to be able to add numbers together to equal 100, right? So then you just have to put the 3 plus signs where they belong. And like, you might think, okay, I'll put them Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying that's how you solve that one. And so, if you know how to do it and you're good under pressure, which I'm not, but I do know how to do it, it's possible.
Did they tell them how many
Yeah,
pluses and minuses?
obviously it's possible. That's not the point. The point is in 3 minutes, and if you've seen this exact puzzle before, it's fucking trial and error. You're just gonna keep trying numbers and see if that adds up, and if it doesn't, try again. It's blind ass fucking luck.
No, because all right, here's the thing. Because you know it's going to be 98 minus whatever the next two numbers are. In this case, it's 76, which leaves you with 22. And so now you just need to add up the numbers. And so, like, that's the part. If you know that the minus comes first, because you got to subtract the second biggest number from the biggest possible number to add up, and then add the rest up so it's 100. Then the only real hard part is figuring out where the second one goes. Because now you need the 5 and 4, right? So 22 plus 54 is 76. And then you got 3, 2, 1 left over. Well, 76 plus 32 is over 100. But 76 plus 3 is 79. And then 29 is 100. Now, don't get... again, I don't want to sound like, hey, I'm showing off. Look at me, guys. Someone should definitely suck my dick because I know how to do math.
But my point is, I don't know where the hell you're getting the idea that it's inherent that you have to subtract a huge number to start with. Where the fuck are you coming up with that?
Did they say how many pluses and minuses there was going to be?
Yes.
3 pluses and 1.
Okay, so they did say that. Okay.
Yes.
I regardless of how easy you found it or not, I think the key difference is we are debating it with a full stomach and a good night's rest.
Yeah,
well,
and
also,
have to hurriedly do it in 3 minutes.
Yeah. The timer, I think, is what really does it. This is one I feel like I could do, but you immediately put me on a timer, I'm going to just freak out about the timer and just fumble all over it.
Right. Sorry, the reason I'm saying this is because Brian said it was pure luck, and I'm saying it's not pure luck. There is a very simple formula. I wouldn't have thought of it because, again, I would crumble under pressure. Yeah, so I would not have had a vote. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging like, I could have done this.
Sure.
It is a very simple rubric that you could have used.
Sure. Oh, shit, actually. No. I was going to say, does Bruce count as winning a feast this episode, but he doesn't because he did it with other people.
Well, wait, what? No, he won the feast. Wait, oh.
No, they won it together, right?
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes, you're correct.
They have to individually win the feast. Okay.
Yeah, or bring somebody on the feast, right?
No, they have to be the one to win it.
Yeah. No, I get it because the team won the feast when they beat the second part of the challenge. So you're correct. Yeah.
So
all right.
What chance do? Okay, you go.
Arts.
Fuck, man. We have been talking all over each other tonight. Jesus Christ.
It's gonna happen. Look. Obviously, my internet isn't very great. Sorry, everyone. I'll clean this up as much as I can when I edit it tomorrow. No. So this was a thing that I meant to mention either the previous episode or the one before that. But luckily it came up in this one, and I remembered it, is that I think that Bruce is coming very close to having that coach moment where he's like, am I a villain? Because he was saying in here, it's like, why would they say that I'm being overbearing? I treat them the same way I treat my wife and my daughters. And so I really think that he's going to come out of this realizing, oh my God, maybe I am this way. So I'm hoping he does.
And he was willing to own it. He was like, I'm going to go home after this and I'm going to talk to my daughter and be like, have that heart-to-heart moment and be like, am I a terrible fucking person to you?
No, it will say,
it's
no,
not like his wife and his daughter are going to be honest. Yeah, exactly what Nick said.
Yeah.
They're like, no, come on, you're fine.
Well, no. Look, they're going to say, no, you're not a terrible person. You do what you do because you care about us and you want to have a better life than you did, and we get that. But also, you do need to just let us do what we're going to do sometimes. And I think that he'll take that to heart. I mean, especially, I don't know the ages of daughters, and I don't want to. But if they're adult daughters, then I definitely think that they're going to have that thing like, Dad, you got to realize that we we are adults, and you made mistakes when you were our age. You want us to not make those mistakes, and we get it, but you are the person that you are because of the mistakes that you made.
How old is Bruce?
43, something like that.
43? All right, so that mean if it was me and it was my daughter, she'd be what, 10, 11? I mean, like, it's tricky, right? Like, that's the other side of it, is like, if you have younger kids, why are you treating a grown-ass woman like you treat your kids? And I mean, I think that's the flip side of the introspection, right? Like, it's a nice moment to be like, oh, I treat my daughter really similar. What about how do I treat my daughter in a way that she feels that I'm overbearing or whatever? But like the flip side of the introspection that he doesn't look at is why did I treat Kelly like I treat my kids? Like, why did I go into dad mode? Because I don't know, like the way I think about and treat my children, aside from the love stuff, is going to be very fundamentally different from the way I think about and treat all other human beings. And so you have to think about, like, are you looking down on Kelly because she is younger than you? Is it an ageism thing in general? Is it because she's a woman and you treat all the other women here like that? But you kind of treated Caleb like that too. It makes me think there's a little bit of an ageism thing. Are you treating Julie like that? I don't know. I haven't seen that much of that dynamic between them two. There's a different piece of the introspection that he's not picking up on that I think is a lot more important. I think that's a lot more important than what he's thinking about his own daughter. And I understand why he goes to his daughter, right? Because, that's the first thing you think about is the people that are closest to you and how you treat them. Totally makes sense. But the other thing I think has a big impact on his life too, and the way people see him. And I think that's just as important in the grand story of things. But that's not important for the story of Survivor. So I don't feel like I'm dumping on Bruce here as like a human being. We're getting a snippet, editing. We call them characters and players more than we call them people on this show for a reason, right? Like, we're not seeing their whole person. We don't see the whole person when we talk about this show. So I want to be careful and, make it clear I'm not dumping on Bruce, but like the introspective moment we're getting, I don't think is the one the show should be giving us.
We don't see the whole person. We just see their whole ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's all bullshit. I don't think anybody comes out there and it's a completely different personality. But anyway, I mean, I like the first part of your point, Andy. Like, yeah, why are you treating Kelly like you treat your daughter? That's weird. I mean, you're supposed to treat your kids like that. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, I don't know why you treat a stranger like that. That's weird.
Yeah, it crosses boundaries, I don't know. And that's the reason she felt the way she felt, right? And it's the reason Katurah feels the way she feels, right? It's not that, I don't know.
Well,
I don't
that's
want to
not
get into it.
Katurah just thinks he's annoying. That's not.
No, yeah.
Katurah thinks he's annoying for very similar reasons that Kelly did. Their reason is very similar.
No, it's not. Katurah didn't like him trying to be silly all the time.
I think Katurah doesn't like anything.
Yeah,
about
he
him.
was. Well, Bruce was a tryhard with the silliness thing, especially early on. But as far as how he's treating people, the thing is, if somebody knows you, you can do a lot more than you can otherwise, right? Like, I can joke with you guys about stuff that a complete stranger, I would never do that, right? Like, they don't know me. They don't know that I'm just being like, before we started recording, when we were talking about who's going to do the reading, and you said Brian, and I said that was anti-Semitic because Torah reading, blah, 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 or whatever. That's clearly a joke, and you guys know, all right, cool. Nick's not an anti-Semite. He's not one of the chosen, but he is definitely not an anti-Semite. But, like, if I just met someone on an island and I told that joke, like, the minute we met, they wouldn't know who I am or what I'm about. They might go like, fuck that guy. Yep. And so that's the thing about Bruce is he treats everyone like he treats his daughters, and it's okay to treat your kids like being a little bit overbearing because they genuinely don't know the things that you know, right? He's a 46, I think, actually. He's a little bit older. He's like a 46-year-old man, and they are maybe, let's say, like they're 12. He's been to college, you guys. He knows stuff. He's had experiences. That's what a parent does. Like, Andy, your kids, I'm sure they think that they know more than you sometimes, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And no, they don't know shit compared to you. And so, yeah, you are being a little bit overbearing to them. But that's okay because they're your kids. Now, if you are, and he may just get used to being like that because I think he's also said he's a stay-at-home dad. You can't do thing to Katura, to Jake. Jake doesn't mind, but that's also, if you look at it, like, look at Jake's situation. He is a 26-year-old man, lives with his grandma. He said he had some self-problems. Should say from here on out that he got jaked. Like, he may have been in a similar situation where he kind of does respond well to the thing. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, you haven't earned the right to treat people away.
Yeah. I know. I kind of want to move on from the subject because I feel like it's talking about him and a personal moment that he had introspecting on his identity and his family, and that's not places we need to go. We like to talk about gameplay.
Yeah. I think Bruce is okay, but I'm just hoping he got the coach moment where he's like, wait a minute. Huh. And I'm sure he seems nice enough that when he's watching this, yeah, that's what I look like. Because it is really interesting, and don't worry, I'm not talking about him anymore. But It is really when you read someone else say something like, hey, here's a dilemma. So, for example, I am part of a Facebook group where we intentionally give people bad advice. And so people will all the time post these questions like, what should I do in this situation? And it's kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? How did your life get this messed up? But it's like, the thing of it is that they are saying to themselves in this time, here's this perfectly reasonable situation that I got myself into. What do you guys think I should do? And it's like, how? Just read that back to yourself and pretend like some complete stranger told you this situation. They would sound like an insane person.
Yeah, people get deep in their own situation.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah. Anyway.
So, how would you guys feel at this point then if Bruce won?
I'd be okay with it.
Brian?
No, I don't want that.
Would you be more or less okay with it than Gabler's win?
Oh, yeah, better than Gabler.
Yeah, more. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like
we're at least together on that.
Bruce is put together. Like, here's the thing. Most of the reason why I would be okay with it if he won is because I don't think he's if he went to the end, I don't think he would win. And so if he somehow managed to win, that would mean he did something. You know what I mean? He had a really good final tribal council or something along those lines. So that's why I'd be like, yeah, I'd be okay with it. I definitely don't think he's a villain. I think his gameplay leads a little to be desired, but he has, he won 2 immunities. He accurately stated in this tribal council, I'm glad I won, but also, yeesh, there's a real big target on my back now. And so he has that self-awareness, and he has titles so far. So I'm like, yeah, I would give him a chance, but I don't think he'll win. That's why I'm okay with him when he does.
I feel like we got a good sense of where the jury's already feeling about Bruce. When Caleb's like, damn, Bruce has been... He whispered it to Kelly, like, Bruce has been safe 16 out of 17 days out here.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's an insane statistic that he knows and picked up on, right? And Kelly's reaction was not like, oh, yeah. It was an eye roll. As if, but he is... As if, I'm going to roll my eyes because he did not earn that, or that's not him, or that's a stat that's, You can make statistics say whatever you want, and that's obviously not saying what Kelly feels, right? And so I feel like that's what we're getting here, right? And I feel like Kendra's going to be out there and do kind of a similar thing. And be like, yeah, okay, but great for Bruce. The thing is, that comes at a tipping point, right? If Bruce, next episode, plays his idol and protects himself or protects an ally and gets out an enemy and then wins immunity again, then it's like, at that point, you do become a serious threat that your opponents have to deal with. And if they don't deal with you, then you have done something meritorious of your position in Final Tribal, right? it only takes one or two more like this to get to that tipping point where the jury's going to say, like, at what point did they try to get rid of Bruce and couldn't? And what did Bruce do to stop that? Because then that's the move, right? Like, even if he falls ass forward socially, but has to get to the end, like, just the task of getting to the end after winning 3 or 4 immunities in a row, or 3 or 4 out of 5, right? Like, once that's your win rate, you're a problem, and they're going to target you. And if you can deflect that target, that's your move, and the jury will see that. So it doesn't take a whole lot for Bruce to get there, especially if Bruce brings Julie and Katura. If Katura gets there with Bruce, it'll be the most hilarious fucking thing ever. But, like, I could see Bruce's win in that scenario. I really could see it.
Does he know? I don't think he knows that he definitely would have gone home the last 2 times had he not won.
I don't know.
Well, I think he would have gone away. He would have gone home for sure, just because in the previous one, especially because people just were sick of him. Like, I think now they might take him to the end as kind of like a goat or whatever. But back then, there was a not chain reaction. What's the word I'm looking for? A critical mass of people who were like, we should just vote him out because he's annoying, you know.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is, I think that if he gets to the end, he has a secret weapon, because if he chooses to use it and is aware, where he could apologize. Because you know what would really win over these people if he did have that coach moment in front of them and just go, because someone's going to ask him about the overbearingness, and he's like, look, I overdid it, but same way that Emily overdid it with me on the first day, and I own it. I apologize. It's who I am, but also blah, blah, blah. Like, if he just apologizes to them, I think these people will just be like, hell yeah, dude.
I mean,
have $1 million.
Who beats Bruce right now? I think Austin, Drew would beat him. D. Not that D has necessarily done a lot, but D's like, quote unquote, secret resume, right? All this stuff, all the moves that she's pulled, and the strings that she's pulled behind the scenes to get votes kind of waving the way she wants. If she can make her case, I think she beats Bruce there.
I don't know why the hell you think Drew would beat him. He hasn't done anything. You just have Austin tell him what to do.
Drew has not done anything that we've seen, but if Drew can, say, oh, I've connected with, I did my day one connection with Austin. Austin and I made these decisions. Austin and I did XYZ. We brought in D. We brought in Emily. Or Drew can even say, I brought in Emily when we talked about Pokemon that one day and we got out Sean together, right? Like, he can point to pulling strings. And the thing that we don't pick up on, because we found him insufferable on day one and have carried that through, is that I think genuinely people on the beach really like Drew. I think they do. I think he's genuinely pretty liked by the tribe. Remember when he went on a journey or some shit and he came back and his tribe was there and they like jumped out and did like a surprise song for him or some bullshit? Do you remember when that happened earlier?
No.
Like, yeah. I think they genuinely...
I remember them doing the...
Yeah. I think they genuinely really like him in a way that we don't feel. So I think that's part of our disconnect, especially on this show. I don't know how the greater community feels about Drew, but I know the three of us kind of... we hated him on episode 1 and we've just kind of carried that grudge all the way through. And he hasn't been, he hasn't been as bad.
He keeps saying douchey shit. He has.
I know, but it's toning down a little bit. He is humbling himself a little bit.
But if he gets to the final tribal, he's going to just make the douchiest speech imaginable, and he's going to lose everybody.
That would be fucking fantastic, Brian, and I kind of hope for that. I would love it to be Drew and Emily and have Emily humble him.
Yeah. Like, you got to remember that Drew hasn't done much, but Bazile has done so much.
Exactly.
No, actually, so sorry, dumb joke aside, the main difference, I believe, is that Drew hasn't done... You have to keep in mind that the editors are trying to tell a story. So even though they probably actually do like him, and to be honest, like, he said a bunch of douchey stuff, but he hasn't directly acted like a douche. Like, the story I feel that the editors are trying to tell with him is somebody who thinks he's a 10. Maybe he's a little bit smarter than the average bear, but he thinks he's the smartest bear who's ever lived, and that's going to be his undoing. At least is my read of the edit that he's getting, and maybe I'm completely wrong, right? Because like you were saying, Andy, like we didn't like him from the jump, and we have a bunch of confirmation bias.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's like that's the signal they're kind of sending with him, where it is like, yeah, he says a lot of douchey things, and he is, whenever he's called to task, like this episode, like you said, Brian, Emily says, hey, we should vote out D, as kind of like I want to just feel out where they are with it. And both he and Austin say, nah, but they say it in the most unconvincing way, where they're like, yeah, we'll think about that. We'll think, you know what I mean? It's like,
well, he didn't even say anything. He just made a face like that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I mean,
yeah,
he did better when he got caught hunting for the idol, and he just ran away. So he is improving.
Just about to say that. Like, that's the thing, is like, I think that's the story they're trying to show, is the disconnect between how he perceives himself and how he's actually played. And so I think that if he gets to the end, that's going to be a theme that comes up in the final tribal council. Or maybe that's like, you know, I don't know. I think it's, not to use Chekhov's toe again, but I think that is the case.
Yeah. I mean, and to credit it too, I mean, we love when Katura complains about Bruce to the camera in confessionals and then turns around and is totally composed and in the tribe, right? We love that dichotomy and to see that juxtaposition. But when Drew does it, we roll our eyes, right? But Drew does the same thing. He says all of his dumb shit in confessional, all of his hubristic bullshit in confessional, and then cans it for the tribe, so far as we've seen. So at least he doesn't bring that energy. He's smart enough not to bring that energy out. He knows there's something about it that would put people off. So at least he's got that read as a human being. But he reminds me of like the smart kid in college who when we were in college too, right? Like would go home and write a manifesto on their blog about how awesome they are and all the cool stuff they do during the day, when you know it's all bullshit and their day was actually really fucking boring all day. It feels like that kind of a thing. Like he's talking in confessional about the kind of person he thinks he is and the way he sees things based on his mind view of himself. And then you go see Tribal and it's not like that at all, actually.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a chance to win? Does Emily have a chance to win? I really hope Emily has a chance to win. Emily's got to pull some shit, though.
I think she does. And I feel also that just judging based off the edit, I feel that at least the final two are going to be Emily and Bruce. I'm entirely ready to be wrong about this. I'm not a Drew here. I can admit that I'm going to make mistakes. But I think that they're getting in a redemptive arc edit. Yeah. Of the two of them, I would think that Emily's most likely to not make it, because you've seen Bruce's redemptive arc of like, maybe I am a jerk. And Emily, she's already got her thing of like, yeah, I played way too hard early on. I could see her getting voted out, but that's just how it looks to me. What about yous?
I can't decide if it helps or hurts that Caleb is on the jury. If she was the only one from Lulu still in the game, and there was nobody from Lulu in the jury, she could make up whatever the fuck she wanted. Right? But Caleb's there to call her out. Because if it had been J. Maya who stayed and Caleb who left, she could be like, look, I was running that tribe. You all thought I was the crazy one and that Sabaya was running everything and she was the rational whatever, blah, blah. No, I was running it from day one. And I ran it the whole time till we got to merge. And I ran it until all of them were gone, and I played the middle all the way through to the end. Like, she could just come up with the bullshit she wants. But Caleb's there to call her on it, which kind of sucks. I don't know if you want to rock that lie so hard in Final Tribal, but that would be fucking epic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Has anyone got anything else they'd like to bring up?
No, this is pretty straightforward, right? Right?
Okay, yeah.
Even my notes are really sparse. Usually I take pretty in-depth notes, but they're pretty fucking sparse this episode.
Yeah. I only had the one talking point about Coach and Bruce.
Oh, I was going to say Austin was lucky that everyone voted for the same person, so they don't know that he actually did vote.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like that he was smart enough to go, we gotta hurry.
Yeah. He was smart enough, and also the way he walked back slowly was pretty good too. Because they're like, oh, maybe he walked up slow. You know, it's a very small thing, and it probably didn't matter, but it's like, couldn't hurt.
I mean, Austin does a lot of that small stuff really good, I will say. Like, when Emily confronted them about D, he didn't necessarily have a response very quickly, but in the confessional right after, he identified exactly what Emily was trying to do. He knew exactly what was happening. He knew it wasn't a genuine question about getting D out. It was a question to feel out her position in the tribe. He knew that immediately, you know? So he does pick up on a lot more. And it's the same thing he said in the math thing. Like, people look at him and might not expect him to play this level. And so I think that's genuinely true.
Yeah.
Still true. This far into the game.
This job, he said he's an MBA. Sorry, what's his job? He said he has an MBA, but like I forget what it says is listed as his occupation.
No, let me look it up. Austin Lee Kuhn. Where the hell's the wiki? I hate it when Google buries the most relevant page. It just says grad student.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
all right,
hometown San Jose, California. That's why.
Is he really?
That's why he's doing so good. He's a San Joser.
Maybe he
went.
He might have gone on to Survivor immediately after graduating. So.
Oh yeah.
Hence
wow,
not
that's
having
great.
a job.
It still says graduate student, so my guess he still is a student. Anyway, let's go to the finale. Or not finale, fantasy.
Wait, there's one thing I want to say.
Oh, God damn it.
Wikipedia right now, because I just want to see what they list. Sorry. I just want to see what they list as his hometown, because they never.
Hometown is
Chicago,
San Jose.
Illinois.
Hometown is listed as San Jose. Current town is Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why the San Jose thing was such a surprise to me. And I am man enough to admit that as soon as I found out he was from San Jose, I'm like, instantly, I like him more.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can go on.
All right, fantasy. If you want to see all of our bets, all of our scoring, all the other blah blah blah, you can go to Outwit, Outplay, Outcast.com. On the left, the button says fantasy. Click on that. We have all that there. We didn't have any movement on any bets or anything, but we did have one that got nullified. We have our first to say something touchy-feely. Brian had Kendra, and that's the last one in our choices. So that bet is officially fizzled. Nick had Sifu, I had Kelly, Brian had Kendra, and nobody said shit about having a special journey, blah, blah, blah. And I really would have thought it would have been Kendra Brian. I thought you fucking had that on lock. But no. And nobody had Kendra for anything else. We are coming close to our shot in the dark over-under on how many shots in the dark get played this season. It was set at 2.5, which turns to be perfect, it looks like. Nick and I had the over, and Brian has the under. So if not one more is played, that's going to go to Brian. And I think we figured before the show, it's what, 2 episodes more? Maybe? If one of them gets played?
Roughly.
Scoring. I came into the weekend last with 49 points, and I had Austin, Katura, and Emily, and they all did cool stuff this episode, but nothing that got points. So I got only one each from Austin, Katura, and Emily, because they survived Tribal and did nothing else. Brian, you came into the weekend second with Julie, Kendra, and Drew Basile. Kendra got you 0 points because she was eliminated, but Julie got you 1 and Drew got you 3, or Drew got you 2, sorry. So that's 3 under your 55. That's 58 for you. Nick, you came in the weekend first with 57. What? Actually,
shouldn't Julie get 1?
Julie should get, plus 2 for reward. That's right. So that would that'd be 5. That's 60 then for Brian. And Bruce should get plus 2 as well for reward.
2.
Who was the other person on reward?
Kendra.
Oh, okay. That doesn't matter then. All right. So yeah, then Nick, you have Bruce, D, and Cocaine. D got you 1 point for surviving. Cocaine got you 1 point for surviving and another point for surviving a vote his way. Bruce got you 5. I guess we're double counting. We can double count. His little tribe of 3 won reward, and then he won immunity. So I'll take that. That's 5 then for Bruce onto your 57. What is that? That's 8. So you got 65. So it is Nick with 65, Brian with 60, and me with 52. And we're getting close to the end here. And Kendra's eliminated Brian. There's nobody on the waiver wire. But that means you, sir, get Jeff.
You know, fucking Caleb, he was way behind. Now, fucking Caleb. Ruin everything.
That 13-point day.
Caleb.
You know what, though? Even without that 13-point swing, he still would have caught up to me. So we would still be at 52, 52, 60. And 8's not very far to come back from behind.
Yeah. I have an idea. Because it is not impossible that somebody on the jury could say the episode title. So, if you like, you can take Jeff, or you can take one of a jury member.
Was it Kendra, Kelly, or Caleb? Oh man, all K's. Oh no, the jury is KKK.
I mean, there's no way somebody in the jury is going to say it unless it's the final episode. So.
Right.
Maybe.
But also, I mean, yes, right now you're better off taking Jeff, so you have the better of them.
Yeah.
But from here on out, whoever gets voted, whoever loses someone, you could pick, you could just hope for an extra point.
I like that. Good call.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Man.
Cool. I'm full of good ideas.
Yeah.
I've never been so happy to lose a person. God, I can't stand her.
You've hated her since the first episode.
So
when she was
much.
identifying people by the astrological symbol.
Yeah, and I can't stand the way she talks. That goddamn, it's not her voice; it's the intonation.
Right.
It's so irritating.
It's also the content of what she was saying with the astrology stuff. She
Yes,
grew up. I didn't like her at first, but she grew on me. I didn't like her as much as I'm already blanking on our favorite person from last season.
Carolyn?
Carolyn, yes. Like, Carolyn grew on all of us, and we all loved her by the end.
One of the best players in the history of the game.
I liked Kendra. I don't think she was going to win, so I'm okay with her going. Like, of the people right now that's left, obviously Austin and oh shit, why am I blanking? D. Austin and D, I think, have really good cases to win. Emily, I think, can make a really good case. Katura, I give her the lawyer, like the Erica treatment, where it's like, I don't think she's going to win, but Erica had the best tribal council I'd ever seen. I didn't think she was going to win going into it, but god damn it, she was the pride of Canada.
Well, no, that serves Marianne. And
yeah,
the jury the jury said next to me that nobody went into that expecting to vote Marianne, and she got almost all of them. Marianne swayed all those motherfuckers, genuinely swayed them in tribal, which is awesome. That's so rarely actually happens.
You're neglecting the exact previous season where Erica, the other Canadian, also won.
No, I just like to talk about Marianne.
Marianne's great. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like and Erica was a lawyer, and I could see Katura is a civil rights lawyer, so that's like a lawyer plus. So I could see her going in. Austin.
No, Katura genuinely has no shot, because Katura's big move is going to be finally getting Bruce out, which nobody else is going to see as a big move.
Well, yeah, because everybody wants to get him out.
But yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like, going into it, I would say, yeah, there's no chance. But I do think she can maybe make a good choice, some good case for herself. Austin, I think, is actually kind of the opposite. Going into it, I would think, oh yeah, he's going to win. But I honestly don't think he's going to do a good enough job in tribal council. I would love to be proven wrong. But yeah, Bruce, like we already said, and then Jake.
He's also a lawyer, okay?
There is that, but the reason I don't think Jake could win is because he took 2 swings and he missed on both of them.
Yeah.
If he had connected on even one, I think he would have a really good case for himself. But right now, I just think, unfortunately, the taste that's in the jury's mouth would be, here's Jake. He failed twice, and then he made it to the end as a goat.
Yeah. I don't think he seems to understand that the reason he wasn't voted out is that they're completely not afraid of him.
Yeah.
That said, I would definitely like to see him in a future season to get another chance. You know what I mean? Like he has a great attitude. Like, I said last week, Jake and Kelly were just goddamn delights to watch. And Jake, yeah, I'd like to see him again. Like this time, maybe he would actually connect on his big swings.
Yeah. The only thing I'll disagree with, I don't think Austin by default is going to go in as a favorite. I think right now the tribe sees Austin as Drew's pocket votes or pocket idols, maybe. I don't. It's Austin is in danger of falling into the same trap Xander was in, right? You cannot get to final tribal and have 2 advantages and an idol sitting in your pocket. You have to use them, right? Because everybody's going to be like, well, if you didn't need those to get here, there's an obvious reason why. Right?
Yeah.
It's because you weren't worth trying to get out. Like Austin needs to use them in the way that is threatening and or impressive, in order, because you can't just sit on them, right? People are like, oh yeah, you sat on idols, you made it to the end, whoop de fucking do. You didn't win anything, you didn't pull any moves. Wonderful for you. It doesn't win any points.
Like Marianne, she used hers at the end, and that was what gave her, a lot of credit with the jury.
Well, and she used hers socially as a tool to promise and help another person, and then that put her in a position to get there to the end regardless of whether she played it or not, which was exactly the argument that wins her the game. Right.
Well, but he is kind of doing that. Like, so he gave one to Julie to hold on to, just in case.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if they never target Julie and Julie doesn't do shit with it.
Yeah, well,
it's great, but
it does matter. So Julie will give him, she will vote for him because of that shit. So it does matter. And she'll convince other people that, like, ooh, he's super strategic and shit.
Maybe. I think Julie's going to the end as a goat. Well, that's just my suspicion.
Oh, probably.
But I think it's gonna be the winner, and then Julie and Jake.
How about these older people kicking these kids' asses on the endurance challenges, huh?
Yeah, man.
Oh God, I completely forgot about Julie when I was going over each player. Wow, yeah. I mean, that just kind of tells you what I think about her. Yeah, no, I'm glad they did the endurance challenge well. Good for them.
But twice in a row.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, they lived through the Depression,
I mean,
so
granted,
they're used to getting by
4
with
of them
less.
didn't do the first one, but still.
Yeah. All right. Well,
We're good.
we covered a lot of ground today. I think we had a good positive influence. So let's go out on top. All right, we'll see everyone next week.
Bye.
I'm sure I didn't break up too much. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Bye.
All right, Brian. I'm gonna tuck the wife, and then I'll be back. Cool.
Yo.